Welcome to UPSC Maths Optional. In this video, we will be studying group isomorphism. In the previous video, we covered group homomorphism. If you haven't watched that yet, I would recommend watching it first, as it is a prerequisite for you to understand today's session. Okay? So in this class, we'll first try to understand the concept, then go through key examples and important results, and then look at the previous year's questions. Alright? So this 1 hour session is sufficient to cover everything that you need for this topic in the civil services exam for maths optional. So I would suggest sitting with a notebook and a pen, noting down important points as we proceed. Okay. Also make sure that you attempt the homework problems that I will be giving during the class. So let us begin now. Firstly, let us see what isomorphism is. But before that, let us recall what homomorphism was. So homomorphism क्या था? A function from G star to G dash dot said to be a homomorphism if f of A star B equals f of A dot f of B for all A and B belonging to the group G, right? This is what we studied in the previous video. So for a function to be isomorphism, firstly it has to be homomorphism, but along with it, it has to be two more things, which is f has to be 1-to-1 and it should be onto. Okay. So the function G to G dash is said to be an isomorphism if it is a homomorphism and it is 1-to-1 and onto. And if such a function exists from a group to another group, we say that the two groups are isomorphic to each other. ठीक है? तो इस केस में अगर ऐसा एक फंक्शन एग्जिस्ट करता है तो हम कहेंगे कि G और G डैश जो है वो आइसोमॉर्फिक है एक दूसरे के साथ. तो आइसोमॉर्फिज्म का मतलब क्या है? Suppose we have two groups G and G dash, and we know everything about this group G and its structure. We know the order of this group, we know if this is a cyclic or not, we know about its subgroups, we know about its cyclic subgroups, its normal subgroups. Basically we know everything about its structure, but we do not have any such information about this group G dash. Right? The only information we have is G and G dash is isomorphic to each other. So what this means is, even though we do not know anything about G dash, just by the fact that it is isomorphic to a group about which we know everything, we can deduce the structure of G dash. Meaning, if there is a subgroup H of G, then there exists a subgroup H dash of G dash such that its structure is the same. If H's order is say 4, then H dash का भी ऑर्डर 4 ही होगा. अगर H साइक्लिक सबग्रुप है तो H डैश भी साइक्लिक सबग्रुप ही होगा. तो स्ट्रक्चरली ये दोनों सेम हैं. तो ऐसे ये बहुत ही स्ट्रॉन्ग टूल है मॉडर्न अलजेब्रा में, आइसोमॉर्फिज्म. एंड नॉट जस्ट फॉर मॉडर्न अलजेब्रा इन जनरल, फॉर यूपीएससी ऑल्सो isomorphism is a very very important topic. Year after year you can see that questions come from this topic, right? So let us see in detail now. Isomorphism definition. We have already done the definition, but still let us read it again. Let f from G to G dash be a homomorphism such that f is 1-to-1 and f is onto. Then f is said to be an isomorphism from G to G dash. ठीक है. Next is a result. Let f from G to G dash be an isomorphism. Then n normal subgroup of G if and only if n dash normal subgroup of G dash. Here n dash is nothing but the image of n. मतलब fn को मैंने n dash लिखा है. ये हमने ऐसी बात किया था, स्ट्रक्चरली सेम रहेंगे. G के अंदर एक नॉर्मल सब ग्रुप है तो G डैश के अंदर भी उसका इमेज जो होगा वो नॉर्मल सब ग्रुप होगा. G अबिलियन होगा तो G डैश अबिलियन होगा. एंड कॉन्वर्स इज ऑल्सो ट्रू. G साइक्लिक होगा तो G डैश साइक्लिक होगा. अगर किसी एलिमेंट का ऑर्डर n है G के अंदर तो उसका इमेज का भी ऑर्डर n ही होगा. तो ये बहुत ही सिंपल प्रूफ है इनके। चलो मैं पहला और दूसरे का प्रूफ करता हूँ। तीसरा और चौथा आप ट्राई कर लीजिए, अगर नहीं होता तो कमेंट्स में बताइए, आई विल गिव यू द आंसर समवेयर। So let us try doing the first one. N normal subgroup of G implies f of n normal subgroup of G dash। यहाँ पे f isomorphism है, मतलब f is a homomorphism, f is 1-to-1 and f is onto, right? We have to show that f of n is a normal subgroup of G dash, meaning we have to show two things. पहले तो हमें दिखाना पड़ेगा कि f of n जो है वो सबग्रुप है G dash का। इसके लिए क्या दिखाना पड़ता है? Firstly, f of n is non-empty, and secondly, if x and y are two elements, then xy inverse is also an element of f of n, right? ये वन स्टेप क्राइटेरिया कहते हैं, क्योंकि ये इस एक स्टेप से आप कह सकते हैं कि कोई सा एक सेट जो है वो सब ग्रुप है, ठीक है। तो इफ यू शो दीज टू थिंग्स देन वी कैन से दैट f of n इज अ सब ग्रुप ऑफ G dash। इसके साथ हमें और एक कंडीशन दिखाना पड़ता है जो कि है द नॉर्मैलिटी कंडीशन, विच सेज G and G inverse belongs to f of n, where G belongs to G dash and n belongs to fn. So we have to show this thing. If we show this thing, then we can say that f of n is a normal subgroup of G dash. So let us show this thing. So first let us show that f of n is a subgroup of G dash. तो पहले हम दिखाएंगे कि fn नॉन एम्प्टी है। तो सी दैट n इज नॉन एम्प्टी। n नॉन एम्प्टी क्यों है? क्योंकि आइडेंटिटी एलिमेंट बिलोंग करेगा, राइट? क्योंकि n जो है वो सब ग्रुप है, एंड फ्रॉम दिस इट फॉलोज दैट f of n is non-empty. Now why is f of n non-empty? Because f of e belongs to f of n, right? See, हर एक डोमेन के एलिमेंट के लिए एक इमेज एग्जिस्ट करेगा, राइट? क्योंकि f जो है वो वेल डिफाइंड फंक्शन है, तो डोमेन के हर एक एलिमेंट के लिए एक इमेज एग्जिस्ट करेगा। इन पर्टिकुलर फॉर दिस आइडेंटिटी एलिमेंट ऑल्सो देयर विल बी एन इमेज, एंड दैट इमेज इज f of e. So f of e will exist, and now it belongs to f of n because e belongs to f of n. E belongs to f of n implies f of e belongs to f of n, ठीक है? एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट वी कैन से दैट f of n इज नॉन एम्प्टी। तो हमने दिखा दिया कि f of n नॉन एम्प्टी है। नाउ लेट x and y be two elements of f of n। हमें दिखाना है कि xy इनवर्स f of n में बिलोंग करता है, राइट? So now since x and y belong to f of n, x will be of the form f of a for some a belong to n, right? And y also will be of similar form of b for some b belongs to n. So what is xy inverse? Will be f of a, f of b inverse, right? Since f is a homomorphism, this can be written as f of a b inverse, and this belongs to f of n, right? क्यों ये f of n बिलोंग करेगा? देखो a जो है वो n में है, b n में है, मतलब b इनवर्स n में है, and since n is a group, this entire element ab inverse belongs to n, and since this belongs to n, f of this element belongs to f of n, right? So we showed that for any two arbitrary elements x and y in f of n, xy inverse belongs to f of n. So we have shown that f of n is a subgroup of g dash. Now let us show that the normality property holds, that is g inverse belongs to f of n. ठीक है, where g belongs to g dash and x belongs to f of n. So let g belong to g dash and x belong to f of n. ठीक है, so since x belongs to f of n, x can be written as f of r for some r belonging to n, right? And g can also be written in terms of something. Why? See, f is a isomorphism, meaning f is an onto function, which means every element in g dash has a preimage. In particular, for g also there is a preimage, right? So let that preimage be s. So g equal to f of s for some s belonging to g. ठीक है. Now let us see what is g inverse. G is f of s, x is f of r, and g inverse is f of s. Now since f is a homomorphism, this can be written as f of s r s inverse, right? क्योंकि f homomorphism है. Now this belongs to f of n. Tell me why this belongs to f of n. This belongs to f of n because s inverse belongs to n. Now why does this belong to n? This belongs to n because n is a normal subgroup of g. ये दे रखा है, right? जी, ये नॉर्मलिटी का प्रॉपर्टी नॉर्मल सबग्रुप्स में होल्ड करेगा, राइट? और दे रखा है कि s g में है और r n में है, तो s r s इनवर्स जो है वो n में बिलोंग करेगा क्योंकि n नॉर्मल सबग्रुप है, राइट? तो s r s इनवर्स बिलोंग टू n implies f of that element belong to f of n. So we have shown that f of n is a subgroup of g dash and the normality property holds in f of n. Therefore f of n is a normal subgroup of g dash. ठीक है, तो देखो हमने डेफिनेशंस यूज करके ही दिखा दिया, तो अगले प्रॉपर्टीज भी हम डेफिनेशंस ही यूज करके प्रूव करेंगे. नॉट जस्ट प्रॉपर्टीज, यूपीएससी में मॉडर्न अलजेब्रा के जितने भी सवाल आते हैं वो मोस्टली आप डेफिनेशंस और कैरेक्टराइजेशन से कर पाओगे. सो गेट योर डेफिनेशंस राइट एंड योर कॉन्सेप्ट्स क्लियर, तो आप मॉडर्न अलजेब्रा के सवाल आसानी से कर पाओगे यूपीएससी में. ठीक है, सो लेट अस मूव टू द नेक्स्ट प्रॉपर्टी. Let G be abelian, then we have to show that G dash is abelian. Abelian में हमें क्या दिखाना होता है? अगर x and y are two elements, then we have to show that xy equals yx. So suppose x and y are two elements of G dash. So since f is onto, all elements of G dash have a preimage. So in particular for x and y there is preimage. मतलब there exist a and b belonging to G such that f of a is x and f of b is y, क्योंकि f onto है. तो जो देखते हैं xy क्या बनता है. xy equals f of a, f of b, which can be written as f of a b. क्यों ऐसे लिख सकते हैं बताओ? एंड सिंस G is an abelian group, तो लिख सकते हैं f of b a. तो फिर तोड़ सकते हैं f of b f of a में. बताओ ये क्यों ऐसे कर सकते हैं? And this is nothing but yx. So xy is equal to yx. So G dash is abelian because we chose two arbitrary elements of G dash. तो मैंने फर्स्ट एंड सेकंड कर दिया है. का कॉन्वर्स भी हम इसी तरीके से प्रूव करें. नाउ थर्ड एंड फोर्थ आई वांट यू टू ट्राई ऑन योर ओन. अगर कहीं पे फंसते हो तो कमेंट्स में लिख के बताओ, वी कैन डिस्कस देन. Let us do a question now. Is rationals under addition isomorphic to non-zero rationals under multiplication? Q star means non-zero rationals, okay? So let us suppose that they are isomorphic to each other. So what does that mean? It means that there exists a function f between those two groups such that it is an isomorphic function, है ना? तो वही लिखा है, if both the groups are isomorphic, then there exists an isomorphism f from Q to Q star. ठीक है? So what does this mean? It means that f is a homomorphism, f is a one-to-one function, and f is an onto function. Now since f is a homomorphism, f of x plus y equals f of x times f of y for all xy belong to rationals, right? Now in particular for x by 2 we can write f of x by 2 plus x by 2 equals f of x by 2 times f of x by 2, right? From here we get this. Now f of x by 2 is f of x. F of x by 2 times f of x by 2 is f of x by 2 squared, right? So for any rational number x, we got that its image is positive because एक नॉन जीरो रैशनल का स्क्वायर हमेशा पॉजिटिव ही होता है, राइट? तो हमें मिला कि x का इमेज जो है वो हमेशा पॉजिटिव है. बट यू सी नॉन जीरो रैशनल्स है तो नेगेटिव नंबर्स भी एग्जिस्ट करेंगे, राइट? तो नेगेटिव नंबर्स के लिए एक ऐसा x एग्जिस्ट नहीं करता कि उसका इमेज जो है वो नेगेटिव नंबर हो, राइट? तो वही लिखा है, for -1 belonging to non-zero rationals, there does not exist a x belonging to Q such that f of x equals -1. तो इसका मतलब क्या है? f is not onto and hence Q plus is not isomorphic to Q star dot, right? तो onto नहीं है तो isomorphic नहीं होगा. तो this was a very simple question, right? सीधा definition ही यूज करना था isomorphism का and we were able to do this question. अभी ये rationals के ऊपर सवाल आया है, इसी तरह रियल्स के ऊपर भी सवाल आ सकता है. तो क्वेश्चन कैन कम लाइक, इज r प्लस आइसोमॉर्फिक टू r स्टार डॉट? तो देयर इज नो डिफरेंस, यू हैव टू फॉलो दीज एग्जैक्ट स्टेप्स. ठीक है? तो यही 4-5 जो स्टेप्स है यही लिखने हैं. तो अगर ये यूपीएससी में आता तो ये एटलीस्ट 10 मार्क्स का आता. तो विद जस्ट 4-5 स्टेप्स यू विल बी एबल टू फेच 10 मार्क्स. So get your definition strong and you will be able to do it. ठीक है? So let us move ahead. Let us do a result now. Every infinite cyclic group is isomorphic to Z plus. So this is a very strong result. ये कह रहा है कि अगर आपके पास एक ग्रुप है जो इनफाइनाइट है और साइक्लिक है, तो just by knowing the fact that it is infinite and cyclic, you can deduce what its structure will be like. Its structure will be like integers under addition. ठीक है? So let us prove this result. Let G be an infinite cyclic group. Now what does it mean to say a group is infinite cyclic? That it is generated by an element and that element's order is infinite, right? So there exists A belonging to G such that G is generated by A and order of A is infinite. Now you must have studied when we say the order of an element is infinite, it means that a to the n is identity where n belongs to integer implies n is 0. मतलब a to the n जो है वो आइडेंटिटी तभी हो सकता है जब n जो है वो 0 है. उसके अलावा कभी भी a to the n आइडेंटिटी नहीं बन सकता. अभी आपको मुझे ये बताना है कि ऑर्डर ऑफ एन एलिमेंट फाइनाइट, उसका डेफिनेशन क्या है. समझो ऑर्डर ऑफ एन एलिमेंट जो है वो n है, तो उसका डेफिनेशन क्या है वो आपको मुझे कमेंट्स में लिख के बताना है. ठीक है? नाउ वी डिफाइन अ फंक्शन f फ्रॉम z टू g एज f of n इक्वल्स a टू द n फॉर ऑल n बिलोंग टू z. ठीक है? ऐसा एक फंक्शन हम डिफाइन किया है. अब हम दिखाने वाले हैं कि ये जो फंक्शन है वो आइसोमॉर्फिज्म है, कि वो होमोमॉर्फिज्म है, वन टू वन है और ऑन टू है. अब हमने ये फंक्शन कैसे लिया है, व्हाट इज द लॉजिक बिहाइंड चूजिंग दिस एज द मैपिंग. द सेट ऑफ इंटीजर्स इज जनरेटेड बाय 1, राइट. कोई सा भी इंटीजर हम 1+1+1 टाइप का होता है, राइट. और जी हमने ले रखा है कि वो साइक्लिक ए है, मतलब कोई सा भी एलिमेंट जो है वो a टाइम्स a टाइम्स a टाइप का होगा. तो हमने क्या कर रखा है कि एक एलिमेंट n मतलब 1+1+1 n टाइम्स, तो हमने a टाइम्स a n टाइम्स के साथ मैप किया. तो वही है कि जनरेटर को हमने जनरेटर के साथ मैप कर दिया. दैट इज द लॉजिक, ठीक है. नाउ वी शो दैट दिस फंक्शन इज वेल डिफाइंड. So you see, when you're doing proofs and when the function defined is not very obvious, then we have to show that the function is well defined. So there are two things that we have to show when we have to show that the function is well defined. First, we have to show that the domain Z, and this is the codomain Z, and this is G and F. तो वेल डिफाइंड दिखाने के लिए दो चीज़ें दिखानी पड़ती है. पहला चीज़ ये है कि यहाँ के सारे एलिमेंट्स का इमेज एग्जिस्ट करता है. एवरी एलिमेंट इन Z हैज़ अ इमेज. एंड सेकेंड थिंग दैट वी हैव टू शो इज किसी भी एक एलिमेंट के दो इमेजेस नहीं हो सकते या दो से ज़्यादा नहीं हो सकते. हर एक एलिमेंट का सिर्फ एक ही इमेज हो सकता है. So these two things we have to show. So let us see if this function is well defined. For each n belonging to Z, f of n is an. मतलब हर एक इंटीजर का एक इमेज एग्जिस्ट करता है. Then we have to show that every element in the domain does not have more than one image, है ना. तो ये n1 n2 है तो ये दोनों सेम है तो इसके इमेज भी सेम होने चाहिए, ऐसे नहीं होना चाहिए. तो n1 equals n2 है तो f of n1 should be equal to f of n2. That is उन दोनों के इमेजेस भी सेम होना चाहिए. सो n1 equals n2 implies a to the n1 equals a to the n2, which implies f of n1 equals f of n2. तो हमने दिखा दिया कि ये फंक्शन जो है वो वेल डिफाइंड है. नाउ वी शो दैट f is an isomorphism. पहले हम होमोमॉर्फिज्म दिखाते हैं. फॉर एनी n1 and n2 belonging to the set of integers of n1 plus n equals a to the n1 plus n, which is a to the n1 times a to the n2, which is f of n1 times f of, definition से आ रहा है. So we showed that this, therefore f is an homomorphism. फिर हमें दिखाना है कि onto होता है. तो let y belongs to G. onto में क्या दिखाना होता है कि कोडोमेन के सारे एलिमेंट्स के प्री इमेज एग्जिस्ट करते हैं. So we take an arbitrary element y belonging to G. So y, because it is an element of G which is cyclic group, therefore y equals a to the n for some n belonging to Z, right? E is generated by a. So y equals a to the n, which is equal to f of. Next, 1-to-1. 1-to-1 में क्या दिखाना होता है? f of n1 equals n2 है तो हमें दिखाना होता है कि उसके प्री इमेज भी सेम होंगे. That is n1 equals n2. So let us see. f of n1 equals n2 implies a to the n1 equals a to the n2. Take this to the other side. So a to the n1 minus n2 equals identity. But we had seen that this is only true when the exponent is 0, right? क्योंकि ये infinite order का ग्रुप है. So n1 minus n2 is 0. So n1 equals n2. Therefore f is 1-to-1. तो हमने दिखा दिया कि होमोमॉर्फिज्म है, onto है और 1-to-1 है. Therefore Z is isomorphic to G. Now let us see a corollary to the above result. Any two infinite cyclic groups are isomorphic. It's true, right? The isomorphism वाला जो रिलेशन है वो इक्विवेलेंस रिलेशन है. ठीक है. तो अगर दो इनफाइनाइट साइक्लिक ग्रुप्स हैं, समझो G1 और G2 दो इनफाइनाइट साइक्लिक ग्रुप हैं, तो वी नो दैट G1 is isomorphic to Z and it is isomorphic to G2. तो G1 becomes isomorphic to G2 because of transitivity. क्योंकि आइसोमॉर्फिज्म जो है वो एक इक्विवेलेंस रिलेशन है. And the next is a result. It says every finite cyclic group of order n is isomorphic to Zn plus. Right? हमने पिछले में क्या किया था? Infinite cyclic group was isomorphic to Z. Here finite cyclic group is isomorphic to Zn plus. So the proof is also similar. I want you to try this at home, and if you are getting stuck, you write it in the comments, then we will resolve that. Okay. Now let us do a previous year's question. Show that the groups Z5 cross Z7 and Z35 are isomorphic. Came in 2017 for 15 marks. So when is Zm cross Zn cyclic? We know that Zm is cyclic and Zn is cyclic. When is this cross product cyclic? ये cyclic तब होते हैं जब इनके GCD 1 हो, or in other words they are co-prime to each other. ठीक है, so Zm cross Zn is cyclic when M and N are co-prime to each other, and in that case the order of Zm cross Zn is actually Mn. ठीक है, so this is a result, this is a simple result from cyclic groups. So now, just a while back we had seen a result where we had seen that any cyclic group of order 35 will be isomorphic to Z35, right? And you see Z5 cross Z7 is a cyclic group because the GCD of 5 and 7 is 1 because they are co-prime. So by using this result and by using this result, you can do this question, right? 5 and 7 are relatively prime, therefore this is a cyclic group from this result, and since this is a cyclic group of order 35, it will be isomorphic to Z35 using this result. ठीक है, so ये 15 मार्क्स का सवाल था and it was so simple to do, right? तो modern algebra में ऐसे ही है, you have to know your definitions well and you will be able to do the questions. So be thorough with your definitions and practice as many questions as possible. कम से कम steps में you can score very good marks from this topic. Okay. So let us do another previous year's question now. Show that the multiplicative group G containing 1 minus 1 iota minus iota is isomorphic to the group G dash containing 0, 1, 2, 3 addition modulo 4. Alright. So we are asked to show G is isomorphic to G dash. This again is a very simple question. Why? Because G dash here is nothing but Z4, right? And from the previous result, we know that any cyclic group of order 4 is isomorphic to Z4. So we just have to show that this group containing 4 elements is actually a cyclic group, right? So firstly, order of G is 4, and now we have to show that G is a cyclic group. So if you see, G is actually generated by iota. Why? Because iota to the power 1 is iota, iota square is minus 1, iota cube is minus iota, and iota to the power 4 is 1, which is the identity element, right, in the multiplicative group. So we just found an element in the group whose order is same as the group's order, right? Therefore G is generated by iota. So G is a cyclic group which contains 4 elements. Therefore by the previous result, G is isomorphic to Z4, which is nothing but G dash. See, these are the kind of questions that are coming for UPSC. They are asking your conceptual clarity. If you have good conceptual clarity, then you will be able to solve questions very easily. ठीक है? Next, let us do a theorem, fundamental theorem of group homomorphism. This is a very important theorem for UPSC. देखो, होमोमॉर्फिज्म पे अगर 10 सवाल आए हैं तो उनमें से 5 to 6 क्वेश्चंस सिर्फ इस थ्योरम के एप्लीकेशंस पे आए हैं. So this theorem like that is very important. So before we proceed with this theorem, let us take a look at a few concepts related to this. Okay, so let us recall a few things. Suppose G is a group and H is a subgroup of this group. You have to tell me a few things. पहले तो, when is G by H a group? Is this a group in the first place? And if it is not, what extra conditions it should have so that it becomes a group? Secondly, इसके elements दिखते कैसे हैं? And thirdly, ये group कैसा दिखता है? We'll try to visualize this group. Okay. First, let us see when is G by H a group. G by H group कब होता है? See, H के सिर्फ सब ग्रुप होने से G by H group नहीं होगा. H has to be a normal subgroup. Only when H is a normal subgroup we can call G by H a group, and in that case G by H is called a quotient group. ठीक है, तो नॉर्मल सबग्रुप कब होता है? नॉर्मल सबग्रुप होने के लिए दो कंडीशंस को सेटिस्फाई करना होता है. पहले तो H को सबग्रुप होना पड़ेगा G में, एंड सेकेंडली नॉर्मलिटी की प्रॉपर्टी सेटिस्फाई करना पड़ेगा, दैट इज GH इक्वल्स HG फॉर ऑल G बिलोंग टू G. मतलब ऑल लेफ्ट कोसेट्स एंड राइट कोसेट्स आर द सेम. ठीक है, तब जाके हम कहेंगे कि H नॉर्मल है, और H जब नॉर्मल होगा G by H ग्रुप बनेगा, एंड सच अ ग्रुप इज कॉल्ड अ क्वोशिएंट ग्रुप. ठीक है, नाउ लेट अस सी G by H के एलिमेंट्स कैसे दिखते हैं. G by H is nothing but the collection of all the cosets of H in G. राइट, तो इसके एलिमेंट्स इस टाइप के होते हैं, G1H, G2H, G3H एंड सो ऑन. ठीक है, ऐसा होता है इसका एलिमेंट्स. तो दीज एलिमेंट्स आर नॉट वेरी इंट्यूटिव टू विजुअलाइज. राइट, एक सेट है यहाँ पे H, और यहाँ पे एक एलिमेंट है ग्रुप का. तो इसके एलिमेंट्स, एक एलिमेंट है ग्रुप का और एक सेट है, सो इट इज नॉट, थोड़ा दिखने में अजीब लग रहा है, सो वी कैन नॉट रियली विजुअलाइज व्हाट दिस लुक्स लाइक. तो लेट अस सी ये ग्रुप दिखता कैसा है. तो देखो, सपोज G कंटेन्स 100 एलिमेंट्स and suppose H contains 25 elements, then what is the order of G by H? G by H का order होगा G का order by H का order, right, which is 100 by 25 4. So now let's try to visualize this. Suppose this is the group G, ठीक है, and it contains 100 elements. ऐसे 100 elements है इसके अंदर. ठीक है, सो G by H क्या करता है कि इसको 4 इक्वल पोर्शंस में डिवाइड करता है, एंड ईच ऑफ दिस पोर्शन देयरफॉर कंटेन्स 25 एलिमेंट्स. इसमें 25 है, इसमें 25 है, 25 एंड 25. एंड कोसेट्स आर नथिंग बट दीज सेक्शंस. दिस इज G1H, दिस इज G2H, दिस इज G3H एंड दिस इज G4H. ठीक है, सो दीज आर एग्जैक्टली द कोसेट्स, एंड द ब्यूटी ऑफ दिस क्वोशिएंट ग्रुप is that if you consider this entire section as one element, a 25 ग्रुप के एलिमेंट वाला एक सेक्शन को एक एलिमेंट के तौर पे अगर देखें, तो दिस इज वन एलिमेंट, दिस इज वन एलिमेंट, दिस इज वन एलिमेंट, दिस इज वन एलिमेंट, सो दिस 4 elements together form a group. So that is the beauty of G by H. So now when we are given a group of order as high as 100, तो उसको हम 4 equal halves में डिवाइड करके उन कोसेट्स को पढ़ सकते हैं. So that is the application of G by H. Okay. So the theorem that we are going to study is exactly talking about the structure of this quotient group G by H. इसको ही study करेंगे हम इस theorem के through. Let us look at the statement of this theorem. Suppose F is a homomorphism from G dash, and F is an onto function, and K is kernel F. Kernel F क्या होता है? Is the set of all those elements in G is mapped to identity element of G dash, है ना? Then the theorem says that G by K in such a case will be isomorphic to G dash. देखो यहाँ पे G by K जो है वो ग्रुप होता है. क्यों होता है ग्रुप? क्योंकि K जो है वो नॉर्मल होता है G में. This we have done in the previous video, है ना? कर्नल हमेशा नॉर्मल सब ग्रुप होता है उस ग्रुप का. तो ये G by K वाला क्वोशिएंट ग्रुप जो है वो आइसोमॉर्फिक है दूसरे ग्रुप के साथ. मतलब G by K के एलिमेंट्स जो इस टाइप के दिखते हैं, G1K 2K टाइप के कोसेट्स होते हैं, ये स्ट्रक्चरली सिमिलर है किसके साथ? G डैश के एलिमेंट्स के साथ, विच आर समथिंग लाइक G1 डैश 2 डैश. इस टाइप के एलिमेंट्स के साथ ये स्ट्रक्चरली सिमिलर है. So that is what this theorem is saying, and it has wide applications. So let us now look at the actual theorem. Let f be a function from G to G dash such that it is onto be a homomorphism with kernel f equals K. Then G by K is isomorphic to G dash. Proof: since K is a normal subgroup of G, G by K is a group. Why is K normal in G? क्योंकि K कर्नल है, राइट, एंड कर्नल इज ऑलवेज अ नॉर्मल सबग्रुप ऑफ द ग्रुप. Now we define a function g from g by k to g dash as g of ak equals f of a for all a belonging to g. क्योंकि हमें आइसोमॉर्फिज्म दिखाना है यहाँ पे, दैट्स व्हाई वी आर डिफाइनिंग दिस फंक्शन g, राइट, g by k से g dash तक, such that इसका एक एलिमेंट उठाया ak and it is being mapped to f of a. We are actually associating it with the homomorphism that we know. ठीक है. So with this definition we have to show that the function is well defined. तो दिखाते हैं कि g well defined है. Well defined दिखाने के लिए हमें दो चीजें दिखानी पड़ रही थी, right? First, we have to show that every element in the domain has an image, and secondly, no two elements in the range has the same pre-image. ठीक है. So first we have to show that every element has an image. So suppose we took an element x belong to g by k. So it is of the form ak. Therefore, g of x equals g of ak, which is equal to f of a by definition of g, है ना? So therefore it belongs to g dash. So every element in g by k has an image. Secondly, suppose ak equals bk and we have to show that g of ak equals g of bk, right? किसी भी एक एलिमेंट के दो इमेजेस नहीं हो सकते, वो दिखा रहे हैं. Suppose ये है, so a inverse b equals k. This you will actually learn from normal subgroups. So operating function on both sides, f of a inverse b equals e dash, है ना? क्योंकि कर्नल में है तो इसका मतलब है फंक्शन उसको e डैश पे मैप करा रहा है. तो लेकिन हमें पता है कि f जो है वो होमोमॉर्फिज्म है, तो हम इसको ऐसे लिख सकते हैं, f of a inverse times f of b equals e dash. Taking this to other side, f of a equals f of b, which is nothing but g of ak equals g of bk, and we have done well defined. So for us to show that g is an isomorphism, we have to show three things, right? Homomorphism, onto and one-to-one. तो एक एक करके दिखाते हैं. Homomorphism, g of a k b k equals g of a b k, क्योंकि k जो है वो नॉर्मल है, which is equal to f of a b, which is equal to f of a times f of b, क्योंकि f homomorphism है, which is nothing but g of a k g of b k. Now for onto, suppose y is any element in g dash. Now we have to show that it has a pre-image in g by k. Since f is onto, there exists an element in g such that f of a is y, right? And f of a is nothing but g of ak by definition of g. Therefore we found a pre-image ak of y. Therefore it is onto. Now we show that g is one-to-one. So suppose ak is an element in the kernel, then it means g of ak is e dash, which means f of a is e dash by definition of g, which means a is in the kernel of f, right? Which is nothing but k, which means ak equals k, right? तो देखो यहाँ पे हमने नॉर्मल सबग्रुप की प्रॉपर्टी यूज की. ab इनवर्स बिलोंग्स टू k when only if ak equals bk. तो यहाँ पे b की जगह पे आइडेंटिटी एलिमेंट e है, तो हमें यहाँ से यहाँ मिलेगा. तो व्हाट वी हैव शोन इज, हमने एक आर्बिट्ररी एलिमेंट लिया a k बिलोंग टू कर्नल एंड वी गॉट दैट एलिमेंट टू बी द आइडेंटिटी एलिमेंट ऑफ g by k, एंड देयरफॉर इट इज वन टू वन. तो हमने दिखा दिया कि फंक्शन g जो है वो होमोमॉर्फिज्म है, ऑन टू है और वन टू वन है, एंड देयरफॉर g by k इज आइसोमॉर्फिक टू, एंड दैट इज इट. Like I said, this theorem is very important and इसके applications UPSC में आते रहते हैं. See this, UPSC has asked the proof of the theorem itself. Prove that every homomorphic image of a group G is isomorphic to some quotient group of G. Right? So what is it trying to say? If F is a homomorphism from G to G dash with kernel K, then we are supposed to show that G by K is isomorphic to F of G. ये तो वही स्टेटमेंट है, राइट? द थ्योरम का ही स्टेटमेंट है, बट इंस्टेड ऑफ गिविंग ऑन टू दे हैव सेड इट इज आइसोमॉर्फिक टू एफ ऑफ जी. तो डायरेक्टली इसका प्रूफ ही आ गया एग्जाम में, एंड नॉट जस्ट दिस, इसके एप्लीकेशंस भी आते हैं एग्जाम में. लेट अस चेक दैट आउट नाउ. एप्लीकेशंस करने से पहले लेट अस फर्स्ट चेक आउट सम रिलेटेड रिजल्ट्स. सम कोरोलरीज टू फंडामेंटल थ्योरम ऑफ ग्रुप होमोमॉर्फिज्म. See, this fundamental theorem of group homomorphism is also known as the first isomorphism theorem. Okay. So the first corollary, let H and K be subgroups of G such that K is normal in G, then H by H intersection K is isomorphic to HK by K. This corollary is also known as the second isomorphism theorem. We will be using the first isomorphism theorem to prove this corollary. So what is the first isomorphism theorem? Let us write that statement again. Let F be a homomorphism from G onto G dash and K is the kernel. Then G by K was isomorphic to. So this was the first isomorphism theorem that we had done. So what we are going to do is, हम इस h को g मानेंगे and this hk by k will be our g dash. And then if we show that h intersection k is the kernel of this mapping from h to hk by k, then we are done, right? Then we can just use the first isomorphism theorem and say that this holds, right? But for us to use the first isomorphism theorem, this and this has to be groups, right? क्योंकि homomorphism जो था वो group से group तक था, तो इसको और इसको groups होने पड़ेंगे. So first let us show that these two are groups, and then we will show that such a mapping exists from h to hk by k with kernel h intersection k, and then we can show by first isomorphism theorem that this holds. So see, h is clearly a group, right? क्योंकि h जो है वो g का subgroup है. And now we have to show hk by k is a group. Now when is a quotient set a group? Firstly the numerator has to be a group, और उसके बाद डिनोमिनेटर जो है वो न्यूमरेटर का नॉर्मल सब ग्रुप होना चाहिए, राइट? ये हमने क्वेश्चन ग्रुप्स में इससे पहले डिस्कस किया था. सो लेट अस शो दैट hk इज अ सब ग्रुप ऑफ g एंड हेंस अ ग्रुप, एंड k इज अ नॉर्मल सब ग्रुप ऑफ hk. ठीक है, so there is a result actually, hk subgroup of g and only if hk equals k. This you can find in the topic of subgroups. k जब kh होता है then hk is a subgroup of g. Very simple to prove. आपको ये दो प्रॉपर्टीज दिखानी होती है, राइट? पहले तो आइडेंटिटी एलिमेंट शुड बिलोंग टू hk, and if x and y belongs to hk, then y inverse belong to hk. Very simple to prove. एक बार आप करके देख लेना. This is the topic of subgroups as well. So I'm not going to prove this thing. Very simple proof. Okay, so when hk equals kh, then we can say hk is a subgroup. But is hk equals kh? It is given that k is a normal subgroup of g, right? तो उसका मतलब क्या है? ek equals kg for all g belong to g. This is true for all g belong to g. In particular, for all g belong to h, also this holds, right? So therefore, hk equals kh. क्योंकि this is true for all g belong to h as well. So because k is a normal subgroup of g, hk equals kh, and therefore hk is a subgroup of g. तो ये ग्रुप बन गया. Now to show that k is normal in hk, see, k is contained in hk and hk is contained in g. So like we had said that ek equals kg for all g belong to g, because k is normal in g. So in particular for g belonging to hk also this is true, right? But true for g belong to hk as well. Therefore k is a normal subgroup of hk by definition of normal subgroups. So we got that this is a group and this is a normal subgroup, therefore this is a quotient group. And now we can define a function from h to this group hk by k such that it's a homomorphism and it is onto and its kernel is h intersection k, right? Then we can use the first isomorphism theorem to say that this result holds. So that is what we have done in the proof. So let us look at the proof now. So proof. Since h and k are subgroups of g and k is normal in g, hk equals kh, right? And when hk equals kh, hk is a subgroup of g. So we got that hk is in fact a group. Then since k is contained in hk, therefore k is a normal subgroup of hk. because A is normal in G. This also we had seen. So we got K is normal in HK. So together with these two things, we got that HK by K is a group. So now we can define a map F from H to HK by K such that F of H is HK for all H belonging to H. We show that this is a homomorphism, alright, and then we will use the first isomorphism theorem to say that this holds. First, let us show that the function is well defined. So as we had done in the earlier results, first we shall show that every element in the domain has an image, and then we shall show that no two elements in the range has the same pre-image. So for any H belonging to H, H can be written as H, which belongs to HK. Therefore, F of H is HK, which belongs to HK by K, because H belongs to HK. Second, for H1 equals H2, H1K equals H2K. The same as F of H1 equals F of H2 by definition of this function F. So we showed that the function is well defined. Now we shall show that the function is a homomorphism. So F of H1 H2 equals H1 H2K can be written as H1K H2K, since K is a normal subgroup, because we know that in normal subgroups product of cosets is a coset. So H1K H2K is H1 H2K, and this H1K is same as F of H1, H2K is same as F of H2. So we showed this equals this, and hence F is a homomorphism. Next is onto. In onto we have to show that every element in the core domain has a pre-image. So suppose X belongs to HK by K. So X is of the form HK K, where H belongs to H and K belongs to K. But this K belongs to K, therefore this together can be written as K itself. So HKK becomes HK. This is nothing but F of H. So we found a pre-image for this arbitrary X belonging to HK by K. Therefore the function is onto. Now let us see what the kernel is. Let H belong to H such that H belongs to kernel F. Then by definition of kernel, F of H is K, because K is the identity element of HK by K. But F of H is HK, therefore HK equals K, and therefore H belongs to K. Here we are using the property of normal subgroups that AK equals BK if and only if AB inverse belongs to K. So we get H belongs to K. That means H belongs to H intersection K, because H was already belong to H. So H belongs to H belongs to K implies H belongs to H intersection. So for an arbitrary element H belonging to kernel, we got that it belongs to H intersection K. Therefore kernel is H intersection. And hence by the first isomorphism theorem, H by H intersection K is isomorphic to HK by K. So let us recall what we just did. तो पहले हमने दिखाया कि ये तो ग्रुप है, हमको पता ही है. फिर हमने एक मैपिंग डिफाइन की H से HK by K तक F. फिर हमें ये यूज करना था फर्स्ट आइसोमॉर्फिज्म थ्योरम. उसके लिए हमें पहले F को होमोमॉर्फिज्म दिखाना था, को ऑनटू दिखाना था, और उसके कर्नल को हमें H इंटरसेक्शन K दिखाना था. राइट. सो वी डिफाइंड दिस मैपिंग फ्रॉम H to HK by K, and then we showed that the function is well defined, it is a homomorphism, and it is onto. Then we showed that the kernel of this homomorphism is H intersection K, and then we use the first isomorphism theorem to show that H by H intersection K is isomorphic to by K. The above corollary is a useful result and is sometimes used to find the order of HK. So see this remark. In the above result, if H and K are finite, then H by H intersection K's order equal to order of HK by K. This is true because these two groups are isomorphic to each other, right, from the above result. Therefore, its orders are also same. Now, by Lagrange theorem, because H and K are finite, we can write this as this: order of H by order of H intersection K equals order of HK by order of K. Right. Now, taking this to the other side, we get order of hk equals order of h times order of k by order of h intersection. And this is a very useful result. Sometimes hk का order निकालने के लिए डायरेक्टली सवाल आ सकता है या फिर इसी को प्रूव करने के लिए आ सकता है. So this, if this comes, you have to prove the above corollary and then you have to state this thing. Okay. So let us see the next corollary. Let M and N be normal subgroups of G and M is contained in N. Then G by M by N by M is isomorphic to G by N. So again, like we did in the previous result, again we shall show there is a function from G by M to G by N, and we shall show that that function is onto and it is a homomorphism with N by M as its kernel. But to show that, we first have to show that this is a group, this is a group, and then this is also a group. So the same pattern we shall follow. So you see, M and N are normal subgroups of G, and M contains in N, therefore M is normal in G. Therefore, G by M, G by N, N by M, all the quotient sets are in fact quotient groups. So just as before, we shall define a function f from G by M to G by N, and we shall show that this function by this definition is a homomorphism and it is a onto function and its kernel is N by M. ये आप करके देख लेना, straight forward है, just like we did in the previous result, the same steps you have to follow. तो आ जाएगा. Let us do a previous year's question now. If G and H are finite groups whose orders are relatively prime, then prove that there is only one homomorphism from G to H, the trivial. This was asked in 2019 for 10 marks. So let us see what the question is asking. First, it is given that order of G and order of H are co-prime. मतलब उनका GCD जो है वो 1 है. Then, if f is a homomorphism from G to H, तो ये homomorphism trivial homomorphism होगा. मतलब all the elements of G is mapped to the identity element of H. So this what we have to. तो देखो, पहले तो ऐसा होमोमॉर्फिज्म तो डेफिनेटली एग्जिस्ट करेगा, राइट? एग्जिस्टेंस इज नॉट अ क्वेश्चन हियर, क्योंकि एग्जिस्ट तो करेंगे. ग्रुप से ग्रुप तक हमेशा एक होमोमॉर्फिज्म एग्जिस्ट करेगा. आप सारे ही एलिमेंट्स जी के आप आइडेंटिटी एलिमेंट पे मैप करा दो तो वो एक होमोमॉर्फिज्म होगा, ट्रिवियल होमोमॉर्फिज्म. हमें दिखाना है कि इस ट्रिवियल होमोमॉर्फिज्म के अलावा और कोई होमोमॉर्फिज्म एग्जिस्ट नहीं करता. ठीक है, तो लेट अस सी हाउ टू डू दिस नाउ. So let f from G to H be a homomorphism. Then f of G is a subgroup of H. ये क्यों होगा? Because G सबग्रुप है तो f of G सबग्रुप होगा H का. हमने होमोमॉर्फिज्म वाले वीडियो में देखा था, होमोमॉर्फिज्म जो है वो सबग्रुप्स प्रिजर्व करता है. So from that this follows. So this implies that f of G's order by its order, right? by Lagrange theorem. Lagrange theorem में हमें पता है कि सब ग्रुप का जो ऑर्डर है वो ग्रुप के ऑर्डर को डिवाइड करता है. So let this be equation 1. Also, order of f of G divides order of G by first isomorphism. So tell me in the comment section why this follows from the first isomorphism theorem. First isomorphism theorem is nothing but fundamental theorem of group homomorphism. तो ये यहाँ से कैसे फॉलो होता है ये आपको मुझे कमेंट्स में लिख के बताना है, ठीक है? let this be equation 2. So from 1 and 2, what was 1? f of g का ऑर्डर h को डिवाइड कर रहा है और इक्वेशन 2 जो है वो f of g का ऑर्डर g को डिवाइड कर रहा है. तो f of g का जो ऑर्डर है वो दोनों को डिवाइड कर रहा है, मतलब f of g का जो ऑर्डर है वो उसके GCD को भी डिवाइड करेगा, राइट? डिवाइड करेगा. बट वी नो दैट GCD ऑफ g and h is 1 क्योंकि वो रिलेटिवली प्राइम है. तो GCD is 1 and from here it follows that f of g equals राइट. यहां से ये फॉलो होता है क्योंकि ग्रुप f of g एक ग्रुप है, तो ग्रुप है तो इसके अंदर एटलीस्ट वन एलिमेंट एग्जिस्ट करेगा, राइट? आइडेंटिटी एलिमेंट e डैश f of g में एग्जिस्ट करेगा. बट वी आर गिवन दैट द ऑर्डर ऑफ f of g डिवाइड्स 1, meaning the order of f of g cannot exceed 1, and from that it follows that f of g contains only the one element, that is the identity element, meaning homomorphism maps all the elements of g to the identity element, and therefore f is the trivial homomorphism. Let's do another previous year's question. Show that the quotient group of r plus modulo z is isomorphic to the multiplicative group of complex numbers on the unit circle in the complex plane. Here R is the set of real numbers and Z is the set of integers. This came in 2018 for 15 marks. हमें दिखाना है कि this quotient group is isomorphic to where G is the multiplicative group of complex numbers on the unit circle. This we have done in the previous video on homomorphism. G is cos x plus I sin x, right? Where x belongs to R. This can also be written as EIX. Try to recall this. So this is the multiplicative group of complex numbers on the unit circle. Unit circle वाला group है और इस group में operation है multiplication का. We have to show that R by Z is isomorphic to G, right? So we'll be using the first isomorphism theorem. So we shall be defining a map from R to G, ठीक है, which is onto and which is a homomorphism, right? और हम दिखाएंगे कि Z जो है वो उस मैप का कर्नल होगा, right? And by the first isomorphism theorem, then we can say that these two groups are isomorphic. So that's how we'll be doing, okay? तो ये मैं पूरा नहीं करने वाला. I have given you an idea how to do it. Do it yourself and then tell me if you are getting it, okay? I'll just write the first few steps. Let G such that x belong to R, right? ये ग्रुप दे रखा है मल्टीप्लिकेटिव ग्रुप. And let us define a function from R to this G as of x to pi I all x R. ये है हमारा मैपिंग. इस मैपिंग के साथ करोगे तो आपको कर्नल इंटीजर्स वाला सेट मिलेगा, ठीक है? तो ट्राई डूइंग दिस. यू हैव टू शो 3 थिंग्स. पहले आपको दिखाना है कि ये फंक्शन जो है वो होमोमॉर्फिज्म है, फिर दिखाना है कि ये ऑन टू है, एंड देन यू हैव टू फाइंड द कर्नल ऑफ दिस मैपिंग. इट विल बी द सेट ऑफ इंटीजर्स, ठीक है? एंड देन बाय द फर्स्ट आइसोमॉर्फिज्म थ्योरम यू कैन शो दैट दीज टू ग्रुप्स आर आइसोमॉर्फिक. So that is it. We are done with the topic of isomorphisms. Congratulations on finishing this 1 hour lecture. So let us quickly recall what we did in this video. Firstly, we looked at the definition of isomorphism, right? So what was isomorphism? Isomorphism was a function from a group to another group which satisfied three conditions, right? It had to be a homomorphism, it had to be one-to-one, and it had to be on-to. Such a function was called an isomorphism, and the two groups involved are called isomorphic to each other, right? Then we looked at a few properties. Properties like n normal subgroup of G and only if f of n normal in G dash. Right? G abelian implies G dash abelian. And I had given two questions as an exercise. So do it and let me know if you are able to do it. Okay. After this, we looked at a few problems. Problems like rationals under addition is not isomorphic to non-zero rationals under multiplication. Right? Here we saw that no negative rationals had a preimage. Therefore, the function was not onto and hence not an isomorphism. So this we had done. Then we looked at a result which said an infinite cyclic group is isomorphic to integers under addition. And along with this we had done a finite cyclic group is isomorphic to Zn under addition modulo n. And soon after this we had done a question, a previous year's question, which said Z5 cross Z7 is isomorphic to Z35, right? Here we had made use of this result to show this, right? After that we had done a very important theorem, fundamental theorem of group homomorphism, or the first isomorphism theorem. Right. What did it say? It said that a function from G to H which is onto and a homomorphism with kernel K, then G by K was isomorphic to H. Right. In this proof, we had seen that we had to show that the function is well defined first. So वो भी हमने सीखा था कि well defined कैसे दिखाते हैं. So what did we show in that? We showed that every element in the domain has an image and no element has two images, right? तो ये हमने दिखाया था. ये दिखाने के बाद ही हमने दिखाया था कि ये होमोमॉर्फिज्म ऑनटू और कर्नल है इसका ये, और ये सेटिस्फाई करता है, राइट? और इसके बाद हमने कुछ कोरोलरीज की थी इसकी. तो वी हैड डन टू कोरोलरीज. द फर्स्ट वन वाज h by h intersection k is isomorphic to hk by k, right? And the other corollary was G by M by N by M is isomorphic to G by N, right? These two corollaries we had done to this theorem. And after this we had done two previous year's questions. We had done that if two groups whose orders are co-prime, then there exists only the trivial homomorphism. We had done, right? And then finally we had done this result where we showed that the quotient group R by Z is isomorphic to S1. That is a multiplicative group of the unit circle in the complex plane, right? So that is it. तो इतना ही करना है आपको आइसोमॉर्फिज्म में. अगर सवाल आते हैं तो इसी से आप कर पाएंगे. You do not have to do anything else. I can say that 80 to 90% of the questions that come in UPSC you can do with whatever we have studied in this 1 hour video. So you do not have to worry. इतना करके जाओ. This is more than enough. Okay. Do the exercise questions I have given. If you want me to do something else, let me know about that too. So good luck with your studies. See you soon with another video. Happy studying.